Hi fellow makeup fiends, today I'm going to be reviewing some brushes and a brush holder that was sent to me by the lovely company Nanshy. I've got links in the information bar below where you can access their site and read up about them. The great thing about these brushes is they're 100% cruelty free and they are vegan, sorry, I came out wrong, vegan brushes. They're completely synthetic fibres, they're incredibly soft and very durable. I've been using these since I received them last week. I've used them every day and I really love them. Now when you first get them, and they do have a little bit of a paint smell when you first remove them from the packaging. However, what I will say about that is when I first opened them and I smelled that, I was like, oh, that's a bit strange. But once they're open, that smell goes very quickly, and I think it's just because they are like sort of painted brushes. So this is what the actual set looks like that I was sent. This is the eye brush set. There is another brush set available from them and you can purchase all these brushes separately. Brushes are around £5 each, and this set retails for £29.95 on Amazon. And yeah, it's got 7 brushes in there. And I am going to talk you through what these brushes are and what they do. What I will say about them is I've spot cleaned these every time I've used them. There has been no loss of bristles and they are incredibly soft on the eye and do a really good job. I haven't actually deep cleaned these yet, so I will feed back to you once I've done that as well. But this is what the set looks like. So it comes in this just cardboard packaging and it's got a nice plastic window there where you can see what you're receiving, and these brushes look really classy. I really like the presentation of them. So once out, they come in this blister tray, and this just helps protect each of the individual brushes in transit and just in general. Like once you purchase them, you put them in your bag, they are protected by this plastic. The plastic is, you know, they're flat, so they're not going to get damaged, which is really good because it means that if you were to order these online, you wouldn't have to worry about these possibly becoming damaged. They are well protected. So first, what I want to say about them is they are presented really nicely. They've got a white painted handle, and it's just like sort of pearlized, very, very smooth. They have the Nanshy brand imprinted in them and then the name of the brush, which is great. Now a lot of people would be like, well, why would you want to know that? And why I think it's important is if you are relatively new to makeup, or you are learning how to use brushes because maybe you just use one brush to do everything, then these are really useful because it gives you an idea of what that brush is meant for. However, as you use brushes, I have found out that you kind of find new uses for them. They're not just used for the purpose that they say. So I just find that as you use them, like I said, you develop like what works best for you. But it's also, it's just a good tip in the right direction really, that's particularly what that is actually, because it helps you get the most out of your brushes. So they're silver here and then white, and then you've got the sort of dual fibre sort of brush. Now I have used these, so they might be slightly discoloured. They are actually white and black when you receive them. So yeah, I have been spot cleaning them, but you can't always get all traces of them. So the first brush I'm going to talk about is the large shader brush, and that is what this looks like. It has firm bristles that are quite short and stubby, and it has a nice wide area of bristles available for you to put colour all over the lid. So this is what that is perfect for, laying down a base colour. I also have used it to highlight the brows because with it being so fluffy and having some sort of shape to it on the sides, it's kind of tapered up to the tip. It's perfect for the application of highlighter on the brow bone as well as putting it all across the lid. And I find that these are very soft, but because this is nice and firm, this is fantastic for laying that base colour because you want to pat it in the eye because that is the colour you're going to be working on top of. And you need that colour to be nice and opaque and just well filled in, and that's what. So that is the large shader brush. The next brush that I'm going to talk about is the blending eyeshadow brush, and that's what this one looks like. As you can see, it's got quite a nice sort of area on the top there for blending, so it's not too small. And again, they are all duo fibred. This one is, again, it's quite a firm brush, but it does have a lovely softness on the end, and again it's tapered, so if you're going to be putting things into your crease like a colour, then this will actually go into the crease quite nicely and it will blend out that colour beautifully, and that's what I use this one for, to blend out in the crease. It's really perfect for that job, and although there is quite a lot of area on the top, it's not huge, so you're not going to end up disturbing the other colours in your eye look. You can actually be quite precise with this, because I found this to be a very useful brush, and it was just the right length. You could get just the nice right length level of control with it and use it at like precise angles. As I said, because it's shaped there, you could use it at an angle and get right into that crease and really blend that really well. So I absolutely love this one. The next brush I'm going to talk about is, the next brush I'm going to talk about is the eye crease. Now this is actually for applying colours into the crease, and then they would be blended by the blender brush. This actually is quite similar to the previous brush, but it's just a little bit smaller, and it does have, I think, just a slight bit more taper to the tip there. This is perfect because you can get a small amount of colour onto that very quite nice tapered tip, and you can make quite a precise line into your crease with a darker colour. And I find that really useful because I like to use a couple of colours on the outside, and I'll put like a dark colour but then an even darker colour and take that into the crease and blend it. And I like that sort of darker definition on the edge of the crease, and that's what this brush is absolutely perfect for. And it's just really quite a nice little blending brush. If you've done some work on the inner eye corner or you have a smaller eye area, then this is perfect to blend colours out because it's so small and so precise that you won't disturb the other colours in the look. So the next one is the tapered crease. As you can see, this is quite a small one. This is absolutely perfect for getting a real defined crease colour, really nice colour in the crease, but it's also really good for underneath the eyes. I found it very useful to smudge out any colour that I'd put under the eyes because it does have such a small sort of surface area on the tip of that brush, and again it has a nice firmness, but this one is not quite as firm as the other ones, so I find that this just gives you a little bit more movement and it's a little bit softer than the other brushes. But you kind of go from the very blended out one to a smaller blend which I would take across the eye, and then this one which I would use in the corner of the eye only to make very, very detailed, like a dark V in the outer corner. So that one is really nice. The next brush is the Angle Detailer. Now I have used this in the look that I've done today to do the red line detail. So I used this brush today in the look that I created, which was inspired by Sophie Ellis-Bextor's makeup on Strictly on Saturday night. So that video will be up separately. But I used this, as you can see it's got red on it. I use this to do that line which is just above the crease area. It's very small, so you can get very detailed little looks with this, but it's actually really perfect to also fill in your brows, which is what I've used this for today. It just, because it's quite a small head and it is incredibly fine. See, it's not very thick at all. You can get a very defined brow. Now I have very thinned out brows on the outer corners, so what I'll do is when I put my brow powder on, I start in the middle and actually fill that bit in first, and I actually choose to keep them lines quite fine because I don't really have much hair there. I don't want to make them really thick and make them something that they're not, so I keep that line quite fine, and these are perfect. This one is just perfect for filling in your brows. It's nice and soft, and as I said, it's nice and sharp, so you can get those nice sharp lines, and also you can get you can make little strokes with it that make it look quite natural. I really love this as a brow brush essentially, but it also is really great to get a really detailed line. That's a great brush. The next brush is amazing. This one is the Flat Definer, and I've used that today to put the blue colour under my eyes. Again, it's a very, very fine tip there, as you can see, very razor fine, and that is what it looks like. So these brushes I just find are essential, particularly if you're using a lot of colour around the eye, or if you want to use powder shadows to create a liner effect. As you can see, it's nice and firm, but it's still very soft because of the dual fibre nature of the synthetic bristles. This is great to put a line of colour under your eye. You can be incredibly precise with this. I've actually used this and smoked it slightly, but you can create a very, very sharp line with this. I wouldn't say it's useful for the brows because there is quite a large area there. It may be useful on the inner part of the brow, but I find the definer one, because it's angled, works much better for that. This one is great for creating a line under the eye of colour. It's also great for the upper lash line. If you don't like to wear pencil liners, then this would be really great to put on a shadow, and you can just kind of smudge that into the lashes there and get that perfect straight line. So this is just essential for any kit, I feel. I have got one of these from another makeup brand, and I don't know how I got on before I had one of these. It's just a really essential brush. So the next brush is a little bit of a funny one for me. I don't own one of these. This is the Precise Bent Eyeliner brush, and as you can see, it has got a bent head there. But it is an incredibly fine brush. Very, very small amount of bristles, so that means you can do very precise lines. I've actually used that today to put on my gel liner. Now, when I first used this, I was a little bit clumsy with it because I'm used to a straight brush to apply an eyeliner, particularly a gel liner. But as I've used it a couple of times, I don't know how I've not got into one of these, because this just makes it so much easier to get that perfect straight line, because you're not pulling it across this way, you're not trying to get it straight or trying to reach an angle. It literally is at the right angle all the way across the eye, and you don't have to keep moving around to get the perfect angle. So I absolutely love this brush. I think for me this is probably the best one in the kit, just because I've never used one of these brushes before and it's so impressive. The bristles have the right amount of firmness so that you can get that very straight line, so they don't bend and fold under the pressure. They actually create a really smooth line. So I absolutely love this brush. I think this one is fantastic. I think they're fantastic. I think that £30 for 7 brushes is actually really good value. I think as it works out, it's kind of like getting one and a bit free because they retail at around £5 individually, but I will put the link to the Amazon site where you can check out all the brushes. So you could buy a couple of these individually if you didn't want the whole set, but the way I feel is I think that this is a really good set. I think this is very good for if somebody is looking to upgrade their brushes and do it at an affordable price. I think £30 for 7 brushes is actually really quite good considering the quality of these brushes. I haven't lost any bristles yet. They're incredibly soft and they help you do very detailed work, and I would definitely compare them to the quality of Sigma brushes. They do kind of remind me of them with their like sort of wooden handles. Got dropsy today. They're not numbered, so they just come as what their purpose is. But I think they look really nice. I like the white handles. I think that's something a little bit different, and the white and silver looks great together. And I'm highly impressed. I just think they do a fantastic job. I've used them every day, and to be honest, since I've started using Sigma, I couldn't see myself using anything else, but I've really, really enjoyed using these. So if you were thinking of purchasing something for a young person or someone who enjoys putting makeup on and who is just starting to branch out and do more detailed eye looks, I think that this would be a perfect gift because they look really nice. They've got a lovely look to them. They are cruelty free and 100% vegan, which is a good thing also, but also they just do a fantastic job. They're very precise and yeah, I love them. So that is the set of brushes that Nanshy sent me, but they also sent me something else, and this is the stand up brush holder. Comes in this box, and it reminds me of the Sigma brush holder. However, this does have some differences to it. Now, this is how it presents in the box, and you actually pull out, holy strength, you pull out the other half. Now, you can use this as, I hate silky gel, you can actually use this on your desk. It does come with the Nanshy logo on there, and it is a durable, washable sort of material. And the only thing I feel about this material is I feel like if I was using this on my desk every day, because it's quite textured, I feel like my foundation might get ground into that and it would take some cleaning off. So I think it would have been better perhaps if it had been a smoother material that was a little bit more wipeable, but it does say that it is a washable material. You can use this as a makeup case as well as something to store your brushes in, and it comes with these clips on the side. So these fasten on the side, so when you're travelling that will keep your brushes nice and safe and secure inside. What I will say is I wouldn't choose to display this on my desk, and the reason being is these actual clips on the side. If they had been velcroed onto the side so you could actually remove those and have them as 2 pots, that would have been better, but I feel like that them flopping about on the side, that would get on my nerves and it would just take up some space. But it does feel quite nice and firm. I do feel that it would protect what you had inside it. So it's really, it's quite huge as well. So I think literally you could actually put a lot of brushes in here. You could maybe put your brush cleaner, a couple of beauty blenders, you could get a lot in this. So I do think it's bigger than the ones on the market for, say, Sigma. But the idea of it is that it can carry your makeup as well as your brushes. So I think that's possibly why they've made it a little bit bigger than it should be. Yeah, but it's quite an impressive thing. If you were thinking about this retails for £14.95. Again, it's on Amazon, and I will link this below. It's a good idea if you travel a lot. And yeah, it's adjustable. These things on the side are actually adjustable, so you could put them tall if you had really tall brushes, or put it quite small if you didn't, and you can actually adjust these because they're on straps. So that is the brush holder. So that is everything that Nanshy sent me. I want to say a huge thanks to Nanshy for offering to let me review their products. I've really enjoyed using them. I'm definitely very impressed. I give them a huge thumbs up, and again the links are below if you want to check them out for yourself. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and I'm going to love and leave you and see you all soon. Bye!